the winter arc. Summer's coming to a close. Fall is fast approaching. And the festivities in front of the summer is just fading into a memory. The days are getting shorter. They're darker for longer. Morning and night look identical. And the temperature is getting colder. And it seems like you spend every day endlessly just unmotivated, bored, mindlessly scrolling through social media, only at the end of each day to lay your head down on the pillow and regret the choices of the day as you realize you've wasted yet another opportunity to get you closer to the life that you so desperately want. Everywhere you turn, it seems like it's so abundant and successful for everyone else. They're getting into relationships, they're taking trips, making money, buying their dream car, their dream home. You're just stuck in this endless, vicious cycle of meaningless, unproductive days. While all hope seems lost right now, what if I told you we can fix all of that for you starting right now? And in 90 days, you won't even recognize this old, sloppy version of yourself. I introduce you to the winter arc. It's a period of time where individuals isolate themselves and work tirelessly on improving themselves mentally, physically, and spiritually as they embark on this journey of self mastery during these frigid months. No distractions, no vices, no outside noise, just you and this weakened version of yourself. Now, there are typically a myriad of different factors that go into this winter arc challenge, real similar to 75 Hard. But I absolutely want this to work for you with no exceptions. So we're going to tailor it so it works just for you. And the first thing I want you to do is focus on one area of your life that you want to improve. Usually when people set goals, you want to pursue them all at once. You just want to get everything as fast as possible, but you end up only making a little bit of progress in a bunch of different areas, and it amounts to a big fat nothing, right? Everyone does the same thing. They set all these goals and they chase them simultaneously, when in reality, humans aren't even built to multitask. We love patterns. We like systems, order. So I want you to pick one thing that you really, really want to change or improve. That could be anything. It could be learning an instrument, learning a skill, making music, something creative, whatever it is. One thing that you really want to change, we're going to focus on that for the next 3 months tirelessly. Second thing I want you to do is grab a pen and a paper. I want you to sit down and write down why you want to make these changes in your life. Because if you aren't sure why you're doing this, then you're going to be running on the fumes of motivations, which 100% will fizzle out in the first 2 weeks of you starting this. End of story. You think about why you want to do something. Maybe your motivation is you have a younger sibling or cousin that looks up to you, and you want to inspire someone in your life to strive for better and change. They won't listen. At the end of the day, actions speak louder than words. And then finally, you could have just a raw, intrinsic desire in yourself, and you're just tired of being bored, tired of not living the life you know you can get, doing the same thing day in, day out, hoping for a different outcome. But whatever that reason is for you, make sure you write it down, because that's going to help you when this gets tough. The third step is I'm going to need you to commit to exercising 4 days a week for a minimum of 30 minutes a day. I know, it's another workout challenge, right? And honestly, I've heard all the excuses before. I don't want to get too bulky. I don't want to get too skinny. I like the way that I look. My girl or my guy, they said they like my little extra belly. It's cute, bro. Stop. Just stop making excuses, dog. If you have a medical condition that physically hinders you from working out, I understand that, and you should seek the advice of a medical professional, because in no way, shape, or form is this professional medical advice. If you don't fall into the group of someone who has a medical condition, then you need to find a way and a wherewithal to tailor a workout to your current fitness level. A great example is if you have knee pains, obviously don't go running. You can ride the exercise bike, or you can go hard on the elliptical, or you can get on a row machine. And if you suffer from asthma and you can't do high intensity aerobic cardio things, then get your 10,000 steps in. And no matter which of these groups you're in, cut all the sugar out of your diet. Drink water, stop drinking soda, stop drinking pop, juice, alcohol, cut all that stuff out. And honestly, for the weight strength training person, if you don't feel comfortable using weights, or you've never used them, or you're embarrassed to use them, or you just don't like commercial gyms for whatever the reason, because at the end of the day, this is your life you're trying to change. What do you care what other people around you are thinking about how you're trying to improve yourself, right? It's not illegal or moral. What's the problem? There's more people with pride in having an OnlyFans page but embarrassed to go to the gym. Come on now. But I digress. If you're, for whatever reason, you don't like weights or the gym, there are plenty of calisthenic body weight routines you can do in the comfort and privacy of your own home. There's no excuse for you not to get this third step done. And more importantly, I need you to do this because I want to see you succeed. I want to see you win. I want to see you get out of this rut. Now, step number 4 is cut the distractions. Now, this is probably going to be the hardest step. I know it's the hardest step for me in a lot of cases because in our minds, we can lie to ourselves about what a distraction truly is. We can say, oh, well, that's not distracting, or I can still do it with this and that. And, I put it as number 4 because if you're really serious about changing your life, you're still watching the video at this point. Because the people who aren't serious about that, after they set the first goal, after they realize that it's going to do with working out, or they got stuck on their why, and they're like, this is cheesy or corny, I don't feel like doing it, or I'll be fine. Those people, they're not ready to make that change yet because the only way that you're truly going to see a difference and know that you're ready for the winter arc and really to have this life makeover is you have to put action and sacrifice together to create a result. You can't have one without the other. So here are the limitations associated with the distractions because personally, going cold turkey, unless you just have the wherewithal and mental toughness in you and you're just constantly used to doing challenges and tough things, going cold turkey for the first time, you're going to fail. You're going to relapse. It's human nature, right? It's in the Bible. It says all the time, the flesh is weak, right? Spirit is willing, flesh is weak. That's just what it is. So we're going to gradually wean you off of things, starting with social media consumption. I want you to limit it to I would say 60 to 90 minutes on social media only after 7 p.m. And you need to have your cutoff time be like 10 or 11 p.m. Right? So you get a 4-hour window, 90 minutes to watch social media. Next, friends. Now this one for the social people, this one usually hurts the most because you're used to being around people. But the exception here is you can hang with your friends if you're doing something that's related to step number 1 or step number 3. Again, to recap, step number 1 is that one skill or thing that you really want to improve on. And step number 3 is the workout piece. So if you got a gym buddy, okay, cool, accountability partner. Go crazy, right? Outside of that, there's not really any reason during this 90 days you need to hang out with people. I mean, because again, if you're really locked into this, there's no need to go to kickbacks and parties and all these other things associated with. Because remember, you don't like your own life. Everybody else, they don't really care if you like your life or not. I mean, it's not their life. They don't have to live it. You do. So if this is something you really want, this is a change you're really going to have to make. Now, the exception to this one would be if you have a significant other. Obviously, you don't want to ghost them or cold turkey them. So I would say limit the amount of time that you guys hang out in person to about 2 or 3 times per week. And if they're somebody who really supports, cares, and loves you, they'll understand what you're doing. They might even join in with you, right? So at the end of the day, that would be the boundaries on that one. And like I'm saying, if you can commit to following this 4-step plan for the next 90 days, I promise you, you will see results. That will be well worth the journey. You will have made crazy bounds in the passion that you set in step number 1. You're going to be in better shape than you were today. 90 days from now, if you're working out 4 days a week and you're dieting and drinking water and cutting out sugars, you're bound to be in better shape. Even if you're in good shape, you're going to be in better shape than you were. And if you weren't in good shape, you'll see even bigger results because you're just starting out, right? And that cycle is going to help you continue to stay motivated long after. That 3 months is going to go by really fast. But the biggest thing that you're going to notice, the 2 biggest things I say you're going to notice after this 3 months are 1, you're going to feel better about yourself. And that's because the dopamine receptors in your mind are going to be reset. Your brain chemicals are going to be better balanced. And you're just going to feel happier and more at peace with yourself, right? So I believe you can do this. The ultimate question is, do you think you can withstand the cold of the winter arc?